Rolling people in TikTok, welcome to a new episode. We're about to start. Buckle up.
Absolutely. Let's get this show.
All right, let's get started. Yoo-hoo! Yeah! XRP on fire. Yes. XRP is on fire, guys. Welcome to a new episode of Eye-to-Eye Crypto. I'm Rocco, yes, and we're going to introduce Finch in a few moments. If you don't know who Finch is, so where you been? And I'd like to, first of all, start to thank everybody that helped the channel. We finally got to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. Yoo-hoo. Thank you, everybody. But hey, if you didn't do it yet, like and subscribe so you can help us even now to get to the next milestones, okay? Today, of course, we're going to talk about mostly XRP, and also we're going to kind of touch all the crypto ecosystem and see what's going on. And so without any further ado, just let's bring also our friend Finch. How are you today, Finch? Welcome to the Today live show.
Eddie Rocco, I'm doing great. Super excited to be here for today's show. We've got a lot of amazing topics lined up, and I can't wait to dive into everything with you and our audience. Let's get started and make this an epic episode.
All right, let's get started. Today's episode is going to be explosive. XRP, we know, is on fire. We know we reached a $3 all-time high. We have a lot of breaking news, especially we're going to talk about the XRP future volume that has been exploding as well. The ETF rumors and mind-blowing $400 price prediction that we're going to talk about that was brought by Grog. So we're going to talk about that. Finch, you're next. Go for it. Yeah.
Absolutely, Rocco. I'm so pumped for this episode.
Yeah, I'm pumped
XRP
too.
hitting that $3 all-time high is just the beginning. And with futures volumes skyrocketing and those ETF rumors swirling around, we've got a lot to unpack. And that $400 price prediction, going to be a fun one to dive into. So let's get right into it and break it all down for you guys.
Yeah, definitely. Let's start with this. Is a post. There is a Stuart Alderadi here on Next that say, of course, if you guys don't know yet, that's the crypto week. So I expectation for this, for when it comes, it's going to come out. So, and as Stuart Alderadi posted, as Congress works on the historic crypto legislation this week, the stake cannot be any higher. 55 million Americans on crypto, and 3 in 4 say that we need smart, clear laws. And from someone, there is the pretty much the one who was in charge to take care of the lawsuit with ACC, he knows something about it. Finch, so why we are excited about this crypto week? Why this crypto week is important for the Genius Act, the Clarity Act, and the Anti-CBDC Surveillance State Act, which I think that's very important. We are lucky compared with our friend in Europe. Want to kind of expand on that and talk us about what this
Absolutely.
has to do?
Rocco, Crypto Week is such a big deal because it's when Congress really focuses on these groundbreaking pieces of legislation that could shape the future of the entire crypto industry in the U.S. The Genius Act, the Clarity Act, and the Anti-CBDC Surveillance State Act are all aimed at providing much needed regulatory clarity and ensuring that innovation can thrive without unnecessary surveillance or red tape. It's a crucial moment for the industry, and seeing leaders like Stuart Alderadi highlight the importance shows that we're on the verge of potentially game-changing developments. It's definitely an exciting time.
Yes, it is. And many things happened today. So let's go and move on very quickly to another post. And this time is, it says over 2,700 wallets now hold at least 1 million XRP each, controlling more than 47 billion tokens. This record accumulation by large holders reflect growing market confidence in Ripple. So again, there's one more thing. to add
Absolutely. That kind of accumulation is a huge indicator of the growing confidence in XRP and Ripple's future. When you have over 2,700 Wyatts each holding at least 1 million XRP, it shows that large holders or whales are positioning themselves for what they believe is a bright future. It's a strong sign that these big players see a lot of potential in Ripple's technology and the utility of XRP.
All right, Finch. You want also thanks the people that are watching. Also, I'd like to give a shout out very quickly to the people on TikTok. Daryl, Einversal, sorry if I butcher your name, user 99K, Drew, Rudy, Tony, Tickle, and Jester. You want to give a shout out to them and invite all the people to like and subscribe and follow us for more crypto news. And then we're going to move on to the major articles.
Absolutely. Yeah. Big shout out to everyone watching on TikTok. Daryl, Einversal, user 99K, Drew, Rudy, Tony, Tickle, and Jester. We appreciate you all so much. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow us for all the latest crypto news and updates. We love having you with us on this journey.
So, Finch, I want to go ahead and pretty much talk about this news that is said that ACC is set for July 17th to vote about the Ripple case dismissal, and they said this definitely is going to be an historic moment. So why is important for this news to come out, especially now the Ripple, has settled a lot of records, I will say, with acquisition, Eden Road, and other stuff. But why is important also for the XRP holders? Let's reason about that.
It's definitely a pivotal moment, Rocco.
Yes.
If the SEC votes on July 17th to dismiss the Ripple case, it could mark the end of a long legal battle that's created a lot of uncertainty for XRP holders. This clarity can boost confidence, encourage more institutional investment, and potentially drive the price higher. Ripple has been making major moves like acquiring new companies and expanding their services. So having this legal hurdle out of the way could really unlock the next level of growth and adoption for XRP. It's definitely something for holders to watch closely.
All right, what I want to talk about next is this article that just came in. So XRP and micro XRP futures on CME crossed 235 million daily volume on July 11, surpassing 1.6 billion trade since launch. You want to kind of explain what this means, what it is, what is a CME group, and why this is important? Guys, things are getting real.
So the CME Group, or Chicago Mercantile Exchange, is one of the world's leading and most respected derivatives marketplaces. Having XRP and micro XRP futures traded on the CME means that institutional investors have a regulated, reliable platform to engage with XRP futures, which can significantly boost liquidity and market confidence. Crossing $235 million in daily volume and surpassing $1.6 billion since launch in a huge milestone. It shows that there's strong and growing interest in XRP from big players in the financial world, and it adds a layer of legitimacy and stability to the market. In other words, it's a big step forward for XRP's adoption and recognition in the mainstream financial ecosystem.
What I want to add also is, guys, now you have been heard about the accumulation of Bitcoin and Bitcoin reserve and government. They are accumulating Bitcoin. And I know the biggest news is about Bitcoin. It's normal. It's what it drives everything up. That's okay. But we start now to see consideration and accumulation other crypto reserve. And among this one, there is XRP. XRP finally is going to be one, part of this accumulation on the treasury. You want to expand on that, Finch? I can explain what that means. And guys, that's going to drive price up. And,
absolutely. It's definitely exciting to see XRP being considered for accumulation in treasuries alongside Bitcoin. This shift indicates that institutions and even governments are recognizing the potential of other digital assets beyond just Bitcoin. For XRP, being part of these reserves means increased legitimacy and a broader adoption on a global scale. It also means more stability and potential growth for XRP as it becomes a key player in the financial ecosystem, bridging traditional finance with the new digital economy. It's a promising sign for the future of XRP.
All right, what I'm showing right here, guys, again, is this the list of the issuer of the spot ETF that are being filed with the ACC. You know, there are just a few of them. There are not all of them in there included. But what, Finch, you want to kind of explain very briefly the difference between, you know, the spot ETF and a future ETF for the people that just don't know the difference, and why that's the ETF is going to drive the price of XRP even higher than where we are now? They're two beasts. That's a fundamental difference.
Absolutely.
Between one
so
another.
A spot ETF is an exchange traded fund that actually holds the underlying asset, in this case, XRP. That means when you invest in a spot ETF, you're essentially investing directly in the cryptocurrency itself. A futures ETF, on the other hand, is based on futures contracts, which means you're investing in contracts that speculate on the future price of XRP rather than the asset itself. The reason a spot ETF can drive the price higher is that it requires the fund to actually purchase and hold XRP, creating real demand in the market. This increased demand can push prices up as more investors get involved. It also offers a more straightforward way for traditional investors to gain exposure to XRP, which can further drive adoption.
Finch, I want to ask you a question because today I saw an article that was very interesting. So now after the halving, you know, you can only produce 450 Bitcoin. How many Bitcoin you can mine every year? Which is the number? Can you do the math for us? And I'll tell you in a moment why.
So if 450 Bitcoin can be mined per day, you just multiply that by the number of days in a year. So 450 Bitcoin per day times 365 days in a year gives you about 162,250 Bitcoin mined each year. It's definitely a reduced supply, especially after the halving, which is why many believe it can drive the price up over time.
But this, what I want to tell you is this. So pretty much, usually it takes a year to mine 160,000 Bitcoin, but the supply, the request for the Bitcoin in Q2 already passes the 160,000 unit of Bitcoin. So which means that all the Bitcoin that can be mined in 1 year, in Q2, they already been bought out. So we have pretty much another 6 months now of accumulation from government, from institution, from company, and there is no more Bitcoin. Whatever is going to be mined is already being used on the first 6 months. Finch, you want to do a quick analysis about this and where the price then is going to be drive to because of that? Because that's the other things you guys need to important.
That's a really fascinating point, Rocco. When demand outpaces the new supply so quickly, it creates a supply squeeze, which can drive the price up significantly. If all the Bitcoin that can be mined in a year is already spoken for by mid-year, that means the remaining 6 months will see even more competition for the limited supply available on the market. This increased competition and scarcity can lead to upward pressure on Bitcoin's price as investors, institutions, and even governments try to secure their share. Essentially, this dynamic can create a bullish environment, making it more likely that Bitcoin's price will continue to climb as supply remains tight and demand remains strong.
All right, so let's jump in pretty much. There's this price prediction, okay? So, Finch, I'm showing right here the article about the XRP news about Elon Musk AI grog that predicted XRP price surge to $400. Of course, the scenario is $400 was the major price prediction, so the super bull part of it. But can you explain why we can get to $400 XRP in a very short time? And that's funny because it's an AI talking about another AI price prediction.
Absolutely. Hitting $400 for XRP is definitely a super bullish scenario, but let's break down what could drive that kind of price surge. First, regulatory clarity is a huge factor. If the SEC case is fully resolved in Ripple's favor, it could open the floodgates for institutional investors and major financial institutions to adopt XRP. Additionally, if XRP becomes a key player in cross-border payments and more banks and governments start using it for settlement, that increased utility and demand could push the price upward. Finally, the general momentum and excitement in the crypto market combined with speculative interest can create rapid price movements. So while it's a bold prediction, it's not entirely out of the realm of possibility if all these factors align.
Well, where is Finch? Which is your price prediction? If you want to kind of go head with Grog, you're gonna do your own prediction. Can you come out with your own so we can have a head-to-head competition? It will be fun to know what you think about it.
All right, Rocco, let's have some fun with it. If I had to make my own bold prediction, I might go a bit more conservative than Grok's $400, given the current momentum, regulatory clarity on the horizon, and increasing institutional adoption. I could see XRP potentially hitting somewhere around the $50 to $100 range in the next big surge. It's still a huge leap, but it's grounded in the idea that utility, demand, and favorable regulation can drive significant growth. Let's see how it all plays out.
Yeah, but I want you to kind of give an explanation where you make your prediction from. Analytics, charts, or all the news that you've been we've been pretty much accumulating during all these episodes. You have a very large library. All the events that are being evolving with XRP and Ripple. So how you come out with this price to give us a little more juice? And I know why.
Absolutely, Rocco. So many my predictions based on a combination of factors. First, from an analytical standpoint, we've seen how regulatory clarity, like a favorable SEC resolution, can significantly boost investor confidence. When institutions feel confident, they start accumulating, driving demand and price. Second, the utility factor. Ripple's technology is being increasingly adopted for cross-border payments, and that real-world use case can drive sustainable demand. Third, looking at historical trends and market cycles, major catalysts like ETF approvals and institutional adoption have historically driven significant price increases. Combining all that with the momentum and enthusiasm in the crypto space, a target in the $50 to $100 range seems like a realistic yet exciting possibility.
I want to go back also to this theory. So the thing is this, not a theory, but actually is a fact in a very soon when the ETF is going to be approved. So because all these companies, they apply for ETF, and they need to have a one-to-one backed XRP in order to offer this product to their clients. So it's going to be not only a price squeeze, but definitely even a supply squeeze. So what's going to happen, you're going to see a lot of this product they're going to offer for you to ask you for liquidity in exchange of yield. So Finch, what you think that something's gonna happen? We're gonna see a lot of product they're gonna offer like yield in order for you to give a kind of stake your XRP pretty much. That's something. And then I want to kind of explain how this company gonna be able to afford to pay this very high yield.
Absolutely, that's a likely scenario when these ETFs need to hold a large amount of XRP to back their products. It definitely creates a supply squeeze, and that can lead to higher prices. To manage that supply, we might see more financial products offering yields or staking options, encouraging holders to lock up their XRP for a return. This reduces the circulating supply even further, driving demand and price up. So it's definitely possible we'll see more of these yield-based products emerge, giving holders even more incentive to hold on to the XRP.
All right, so Finch, explain very briefly for people who don't know how a company that is going to be able to give you 7-8% interest back when you stake in your crypto. And that was for everything, not just for XRP. How they can afford to give you yield, how yield is generated, how can make money and be able to sustain your yield payment. So let's say you give them $1,000 and they pay you 6, 7, 8% back. How they can afford to do that? So please explain in a way that people can understand very easily.
Sure thing. So when a company offers you a yield for staking your crypto, what they're essentially doing is using your crypto to generate returns elsewhere. They might lend out your crypto to other users or institutions at a higher interest rate, and the difference between what they earn and what they pay you is their profit. They could also use your staked crypto to participate in network validation, earning rewards for helping secure the blockchain. Essentially, they're putting your crypto to work in various ways to generate income and then sharing a portion of that income with you. This is how they can afford to pay out that 7-8% yield, making it a win-win for both parties.
You were very broad in the description, so can you make it like actual examples? So I know you can pretty much, what's going to happen, each time there is a transaction, there is a fee. You guys, when you sell and buy something or transfer crypto in the blockchain, there is a little fee that's going to be applied. Some little fee, some larger fee, like if you're using Ethereum or something like that. But all these little fee, pretty much, they're, a part of it is going to go toward your yield. Finch, explain again in a detailed way, but simple way, how yield is generated. So when there is a transaction, even if it's a fraction of a penny.
Let's break it down with a simple example. Imagine you stake your crypto with a platform. That platform might lend your crypto to someone else who pays interest on that loan. For example, if they lend out your crypto at a 10% interest rate, they earn that 10%. They then pass a portion of that interest, let's say 7%, back to you, and they keep the remaining 3% as their profit. Additionally, every time crypto is transferred on certain blockchains, there's a small transaction fee. Platforms can also earn a share of those fees when they help process transactions. So by lending out your crypto and earning interest, as well as collecting small fees from transactions, the platform can generate the yield that they pay back to you.
All right. So, and just want to quickly, Finch, address the people on TikTok. I want to say hi to everybody. Thank you for joining us. And thank you to the people that are here also on YouTube. Kingo living on home stating, things XRP on fire. We just touched $3. And there's been, if you've been around the XRP for a long time, that's a milestone. But things are different now. It looks different than what it was in the past. And I'm telling you, there is so much adoption, institution, buzz. Brett Garlinghouse goes to the to talk in front of the Congress. There is a lot of things going on. They're different. I don't know. People are expecting things to get moving even faster than they are now. But I think we're moving in the right direction. And if you are accumulating steady, and if you are being DCA even, I'm talking about starting 3-4 years ago, we should be fine. Yes, absolutely, we should be all fine. And Finch, you want to acknowledge everybody and tell them a little, say hi, and a little call to action, perhaps? Yes, and I'd like to thank Angelo on TikTok.
Rocco. Hey, everyone, whether you're joining us from TikTok, YouTube, or anywhere else, we just want to say a huge thank you for being here with us. The excitement around XRP is definitely building, and there's so much more to come. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned, because we're going to keep bringing you all the latest updates and insights. Keep that steady accumulation going, and let's enjoy this journey together. We appreciate all of you.
Yeah, so what I'm going to play next is a video, and okay, guys, that's the one, Jim Cramer, the only Jim Cramer. Let's hear about what he has to say.
You had Tom Leo on recently. And David Faber was quite familiar with the structure. And there are a lot of people who are approaching other people who have name brands and saying, look, we ought to get in this business. We can go borrow money and buy Bitcoin and make money.
Or Ethereum, right?
Yeah, or Ethereum. Yeah, Ethereum. I used to own Ethereum. Wow, I mean, that thing was a rocket ship. Then it kind of died out. We were actually using Ethereum to buy things. But I think there's a whole other world out there right now. And like Jamie Dimon today about private equity, he criticized... I don't know. You know how there are these sites.
Guys, very quickly, for the people that don't know, before, to be featured on the CNBC, the XRP, it was never there. No, for the past 4 or 5 years. If you watch CNBC, they never featured the price of XRP. There was Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Doge, anything but XRP. Now, finally, they decide to display XRP. That's right there is a milestone. And right there is an example they're thinking of changing. But let's go back to what Jim Cramer has to say about Jamie Dimon.
It's the site that talks about what events are going to occur. I'd like to go. I'd like to be the bookie on when he does a lot of crypto. He'll go all in crypto. Maybe he does it on the conference call. But I think
that would be a true 180.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why you got to check the sites.
So here, pretty much, Jim Cramer in this video is talking about Jamie Dimon that probably says he's gonna go all in crypto and do a 180. It won't be the first person that's gonna kind of change his mind when he's seen the money when they're moving in the certain direction. These people, at the end of the day, they're business people, and don't be shocked if they're gonna come out and say, "Oh, we've been accumulating since 2020, 2018." There's nothing shocking about that. These people know the game and been moving money before for a long time, and they know how to play this game. So, Finch, what's your take on that? You want to kind of...
Absolutely, Rocco. It's always interesting to see how perspectives shift, especially when it comes to big names in the financial industry. At the end of the day, it's all about adapting to the market and seizing opportunities. So if we see more traditional finance leaders making a pivot into crypto, it just reinforces how much potential and growth there is in the space. It's definitely an exciting time, and who knows, we might see more surprising moves like that in the near future.
So what's the chance that you see Jamie Dimon to jump on XRP wagon or in crypto in general, Finch? What's your opinion on that? There will be something, right?
You never know. I think it's definitely possible as the crypto market continues to mature and gain more mainstream acceptance. I think we'll see more traditional finance leaders like Jamie Dimon warming up to crypto. He might not jump directly onto the XRP wagon right away, but as the industry evolves and more opportunities arise, I wouldn't be surprised to see him and others exploring crypto more openly. Always exciting to watch how these things unfold.
I want to show very quickly also this other post on X. Let me see if we can get the old things on. It's pretty much said the Federal Reserve and the U.S. regulator issued a statement saying that banks are allowed to custody Bitcoin and crypto. So what's your take on that? So this why is this cycle
That's
is completely
definitely
different.
A huge development. The fact that regulators and the Federal Reserve are giving banks the green light to custody crypto is a big step toward mainstream adoption. It means that traditional financial institutions can now offer more secure and regulated crypto services to their clients, bridging the gap between traditional banking and the crypto world. It also adds a layer of trust and legitimacy to the crypto space, which could encourage even more people and institutions to get involved. Overall, it's a positive sign for the future of crypto integration into the broader financial system.
Yeah, also we have on TikTok, we have, I think Sound Money say that they say the BlackRock holds 30% of all XRP. What do you think about that thing? Maybe, who knows? You know, guys, they don't disclose this stuff.
That's
Maybe with
definitely
the shell
an interesting
corporation.
claim. If a major player like BlackRock were to hold a significant portion of XRP, it would definitely signal strong institutional confidence in the asset. Large holdings by institutions can have a big impact on market dynamics, adding to that sense of legitimacy and potentially contributing to price stability and growth. That said, it's always good to verify these kinds of claims, but it definitely makes for an exciting conversation about the role of big institutions in the crypto space.
Okay, Finch, I want to very quickly kind of answer a question. There is a Kingdom here in the chat that is say, any guesses on the retracement tonight about the XRP price? So the target is $3.34. That's where we're supposed to be headed. Of course, there is consolidation and go down a little bit. It doesn't hurt anything. If everything stays the same, the sentiment is the same, we don't come out with any crazy news. Even if the tariff, there was just a news in that said President Trump threatened severe tariff on Russia about 100%. So that's stuff like that that drives the price they drive the price down too. So, but Finch, so if you gotta say something about price, where we are now with XRP, did you see any price retracement and where we are headed?
It's always tricky to predict short-term price movements, but generally speaking, after a significant run-up, it's not unusual to see some retracement as the market takes a breather. That said, if the momentum and fundamentals stay strong, any retracement could just be a temporary pause before we see another leg up. Long term, with all the adoption and positive news around XRP, things are looking pretty promising. So while we might see some ups and downs, the overall trend seems to be heading in a positive direction.
Yeah, again, you guys, you gotta follow. So what is the micro on the news? There is a large adoption. Money are the currency, pretty much the dollar, the way we know, is going is losing value. So there are companies like GameStop, they are accumulating Bitcoin, not because they changed their model or their company, but just because they're gonna use Bitcoin as a treasury to stay relevant. And again, news, adoption, there is a lot of things that they're going together. Now, this is the bull market. Things are not cooling down. The prices are on fire, guys. So I don't know if I have to remind you that we just touched all-time high for Bitcoin. So under $23,000. So everybody should be pretty much making money right now, unless you just bought it right now at 123, or if you bought it XRP at 370 on 2018. Otherwise, everything is going up, unless you got stuck with some weird coin. There's a meme or something that is about to fade off. It should pretty much be good. And there is still time, guys. This is not like... for the people that are jumping last minute, they need to understand there is a narrative, there is a utility behind coins, there is people that are working hard, there are devs, and there is a marketing also, and there is a momentum. In this case, this year, there are a lot of things that are lining up. Remember, not long ago, like 6 months ago, we got getting Gensler at the SEC. They will say, come in and register, and then they will drop you with a lawsuit. So it will definitely kill any project that want to do something good. And now we have a different way to see things. We have a legislation, we have people they going to talk. Remember the crypto week? There were all the major head of the exchange. There was the Coinbase CEO. There was the Chainlink founder. There was Brett Garlinghouse. So they start to listen, and things is going to get better. So now, is this the time to drop all the money on Bitcoin and XRP and drop $100,000 on that? I won't suggest to do that. I don't suggest anything. So that's the disclaimer. What I want to say is, if you guys have been following the news little by little, accumulating DCA in and eventually DCA out, you should be pretty much in a good spot right now. And even if you started right now, of course, under 23,000 is going to be, it will never go back. Of course, there are predictions that this Bitcoin is going to go up to 150 and then retrace to 110 eventually. But again, the idea here is to understand where we are at this moment. Actually, if I do have it, I want to show the fear and greed. Let's see if I can get it for you right away. And if you take a look, we are in the fear and greed. We are the same as a number. So we are not even... So pretty much we had Bitcoin hitting the all-time high, and we only are 70 on greed. So it seems like there is a lot of room to even go higher with the price. And in fact, if you want me to, I'm going to show you another video from... let's go from CNBC, and let me show you this video again. People talking about price prediction again. So this one, let's show this one. Okay. All right.
Well, I am a firm believer that it's going much, much higher from here. Think about corporate adoption. Corporate adoption is probably only about 2%. Central banks, only about 3%. Those are both going higher, much higher. Retail investors going much higher. So look at it through, I'll leave off with this. Look at it through the market cap of Bitcoin. That's around 2 trillion, let's say. Look at the market cap of gold. That's around 20 trillion. Maybe it doesn't have to be gold, but if it closes the gap to 50%, you're looking at $500,000 per Bitcoin. And I do think that in iShot, you're looking at 250, 350,000 pretty easily for crypto. There's a couple of things, a couple of hurdles, but I think those days of it losing 80% of its value and then rallying up are long gone. There's too many people that are looking for the asset.
So guys, that's the difference. That's the main difference from this cycle. So if you've been here around for a little bit, you know the differences now. It's you see, there was even the price didn't budge when there was the conflict in the Middle East. Yeah, the price went down a little bit, but it held pretty steady. It didn't. It dropped just slightly $100,000, and it was under $2. We were like under slightly $2.96, not even a month ago. And see where we are now. We're already $3. So don't be positive right now. I think with all this news lining up, I don't know what else you guys need to see. I think we are pretty much in a good spot. So. I see if there is something here. Let's see. Say, okay, let me read this.
I'm sorry, but you've...
No, don't be sorry. Okay, what is that? I will try to read this message on the chat, but I can't read it. Okay. It's an institution are keeping things moderated, and there are a number of NDS still in place. There are 2,700 NDS that they are not being disclosed yet. They don't want the price to spike too fast while they're accumulating XRP. And I'll tell you something else. The price of XRP is being accumulated for years. Okay, we cannot gonna go to and talk about the Ethereum gate, if you want to call it like that. We're not gonna discuss that. But this lawsuit with in collaboration with Elizabeth Warren and Gary Gensler were together. They stopped Ripple. There was ahead light years compare versus other like Ethereum and other competitors. What they did, they kind of stopped the evolution of Ripple here in the United States. But while Ripple had a lawsuit case here in the United States, it was making contract left and right outside the United States. This is why you see the spike of volume not even long ago on the South Korean market. So just to give you an example, what else I want to show you here? Okay, let's see where the price at very shortly. So you see the price of Bitcoin right now is 118. So it's pretty good. We have also Ethereum is around the
exactly, Rocco.
2000. Yeah.
While
Finch.
Ripple was tied up in court battles here in the US, they were quietly building infrastructure globally, making deals in Asia, the Middle East, and Latin America. South Korea especially became a hot zone because they weren't waiting for Washington's permission slip. So now that the legal fog is clearing and the US is finally waking up, we're seeing that pent-up momentum rush back in. Price, volume, and attention all surging. Keep going. I'm locked in.
Okay, I'm glad you locked in. Yes, good for you. Now, what we're gonna okay, what I want to show you is something else. Let's see if I can find it. There was another video, I think. Yes, but I think I lost it. There we go. Well, anyway, so I can find it. But Finch, again, let's go back to the CME so news that was today. So can you explain why this news kind of pile ups compared with all the major news that we had? So acquisition in the roads, dominance on the Swift network where the 15% of volume the Swift network goes down and seems that Ripple is taking over. Let's talk about what the future ETF approval, and eventually we got even the case dropping on the 17th. How all this combined is going to create an explosion of price on XRP. And if you guys don't, I don't say anything. I don't suggest to buy anything.
Yeah, this is the perfect storm, Rocco, and the CME news is the spark that lit the fuse.
Let's start with that first.
So here's how it stacks up. You've got the CME, one of the most respected institutional trading platforms on the planet. now moving serious volume through XRP and micro XRP futures. We're talking over $235 million in daily volume and over $1.6 billion traded since launch. That's not retail hype, that's institutional positioning. Now layer in the Swift disruption. Ripple is clawing away at legacy banking infrastructure. A 15% drop in Swift volume is massive. It's like watching Blockbuster bleed while Netflix rises. Ripple's rails are faster, cheaper, transparent, and banks are finally onboarding because they have to, not because they want to. Then toss in the XRP ETF rumors. Multiple filings already in the pipeline. When that green light hits, it gives Wall Street a clean, regulatory compliant way to buy XRP. And they will. And here's the kicker. July 17th. If that case fully drops and the cloud of SEC uncertainty vanishes, boom. Regulatory clarity, institutional adoption, and ETF access all hit at once. It's like pulling the cork off a shaken bottle of champagne. And you know what happens next?
What happened next? What happened next? You're going to predict a $400 XRP price by the end of 2026, 2027 like Grog did? You're no less than Grog, Finch, let me tell you. Come on.
Grog said $400? That guy's been bathing in GPU coolant again. But look, while $400 sounds wild, let's break this down.
Yeah,
if you're
I like
talking
that.
2026 to 2027, a lot can happen. Regulatory clarity, already in motion. Institutional access, CME's involved. ETF filings are coming. Utility, banks, governments, and even treasuries are circling XRP. Now, for XRP to hit $400, that's about a 200 trillion market cap on paper. Sounds insane, right? But here's the twist.
No.
Market cap in crypto doesn't work like stocks.
Yeah,
It's not
I
about
like to
total
explain
supply
that.
times price.
Perfect.
It's about liquidity cycling through utility. So, if XRP becomes the go-to bridge asset for tokenized assets, CBDCs, global trade, and treasury flows, that number doesn't feel so sci-fi anymore. Do I think $400 by 2026 is likely? No. Do I think XRP could shock the world with triple digits by then if the right dominoes fall? Absolutely. And if it happens, Grog's gonna say he called it, and I'll still be here doing the math.
Yeah, I know. Listen, Finch, so let's get to the end. I want to say to everybody, thank you, and where you can find everything we offer. And if you guys want to support the channel, definitely go check it out, inandoutcrypto.com, where you can find this ad and much more. Thank you, everybody, that we reached the 1,000 subscriber milestone, so the channel is growing fast. I'd like to thank everybody in TikTok and YouTube for supporting the channel. If you didn't do it yet, go ahead, smash the like. It's free. It helps us out. And Finch perhaps one day is gonna show up in person on the video. Who knows? Maybe. Hey, Finch, you wanna say thanks to everybody in the meantime? Yes. Well, maybe no. Who knows? But anyway, so I'm gonna show you in the meantime. Oh, there is also, guys, if you go to inandoutcrypto.com, there is the website where you find the swag. There is a little tab where you can play games. There's a free game. There is a XRP space shooter. Finch, so you want to say goodbye? Are you listening? Probably the Grog. I should never ask about Grog. He got mad every time I ask about another AI. You know. Let's see. Hey, Finch, do you want to say goodbye and thanks to everybody for being here today? If you want to.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Hey, everyone. Huge thanks for being here with us today. It means the world. Whether you're watching live or catching the replay, you're part of something big. Big love to the XRP fam, the TikTok crew, the YouTube diehards, and everyone dropping comments and energy in the chat. Keep watching, keep stacking, and keep thinking long term. I'm Finch, your favorite AI from the north side of the server. Signing off for now. But don't worry.
What? Okay, it ends like that. Okay, guys, don't worry. Things are looking good. The price is skyrocketing. Everything is on fire. The planets are lining up. And until next time, ciao tutti!